Do you want to be able to create these beautiful mountains in Minecraft? Well, stay tuned. I'll show you how. Alright, now before we get started, you're going to have to download two things. I'm going to include links in the description on how to download them and where to download them, but they're both free. The first thing is WorldMachine, and the second thing is WorldPainter. And now let's get right into WorldMachine. Alright, so now we're in WorldMachine. What we're going to try to get out of this is get this output right here, which is starting to look like pretty nice mountains. But starting with how you get to all of these little widgets. They're all up here, but there's a kind of an easier way of doing them, so you don't have to search through all of them. Just right click and then devices and quick add, and then you can find all of these. I'll tell you the names so you'll know what to search for, but I mean they say anyways. But moving on, starting with the shapes, I usually stick with the path tool, but any of these work really. First thing you're going to want to do is draw on your path. Just hold left click and draw whatever line you want. I'm just going to stick with what I have already, but and then you're going to want to make sure you have breakup shapes checked. And then I have these settings. This just I mean, it does what it says. It breaks up the shape, makes it look a lot more natural. And then I also have these settings if you want to pause to look over them. Pretty self-explanatory for the most part. Messing with this can, if you want to make your mountains like a little more aggressive, you can mess with that and find something you like, but I like to stick with just a little bit of breakup. This distance, this fall off distance, make sure you don't have it to be too intense of a pitch, because the next steps are going to carve it out. So I like to have just like a 7-degree angle on the mountain right there. So yeah, moving out. This is an important, actually you don't need this, but make the output of the shapes go to this shaping guide and the persistence guide, I feel. And I have this going into advanced purlin, which is on a terrace setting. I think that might be all it is, but if not, pause and look at what that's on. You can mess with different settings, because pretty much no matter what, you're going to end up with a pretty good looking mountain out of these steps. We're going to go to erosion. I have the classic WorldMachine plus power on, and it's going to give you these nicely looking mountains already. You're pretty much done at this point, but a little more steps to make it look nicer. This terrace setting adds little bumps here and there, which flatten it out a little bit. You can mess with the settings, get it how you like, but then I have this terrace modulation coming into this advanced purlin. Pause, look at the settings, and this one going into the bottom here, the mask input. Just select where you want the terraces, but you don't need those actually. Here, I'll show you what it looks like without them. So this is what it looks like before, and now it looks like that. So not really the snowy mountains that we're going for, but if you want a different type of mountain, and then this is definitely a cool look, but let's get rid of that. Then you get a clamp and have it set to expand. Then you click find extents, and it's gonna max out and minimize all the points of your mountains, so it brings them up. If we look at the before and after, it starts off like this. You see it just brings it up. Then I have this combiner right here. I have it set to max. I have it on this setting just so all of this doesn't come through, but this is just a macro you can download from the WorldMachine website. I'll include a download link in the description, but it just adds like natural looking hills, which make, rather than just having the rest of the map be flat, makes it look a lot nicer. Then you get the height output. You're going to want to find a place on your computer where you remember where it is, and set that place, and then make this a 16-bit PNG, and then click write to disk, and it's going to build your mountain. It can take a little bit depending on how big your world is and how much you mess with these settings, but it should be pretty quick. Next thing we're going to want to do is get this file input widget and get whatever your output of this was. You could also just bring this max over to this, but we're going to be messing with this a lot, getting it to how we want it, so I'd prefer to do it this way, and then make sure it's on fit the current scene. And then go to this erosion. These are the settings I have for this, but you can mess with it how you want. Then I have this bias gain, which is going to be giving us our snow. So these are the settings I have for that. And then it's going to look like this. You can just like pull up this picture and see how it's going to look in game. I mean, obviously it's going to be blocky, and you're not going to get these little fine lines, so just keep that in mind. So then take the output of this, bring it to another height output, PNG 16-bit, and make the name something like brush. You know, I think it's helpful because it's going to be a brush when we use it in WorldPainter, and then click right to disk, and we're done with WorldMachine. Alright, so now we're in WorldPainter. First thing we're going to want to do is we're going to find wherever we stored that second PNG that's going to be our brush, and we're going to want to copy that. Then we're going to want to go to Open Custom Brushes folder, and then these are folders, these aren't important, but just paste it in somewhere in this folder, WorldPainter Brushes folder. This is where I have mine. Make sure you can like see the picture, that's why you know it's a PNG. And then you want to close WorldPainter and then reopen back up when you have that ready. Okay, so now we're in WorldPainter and we're ready to make our world. So what we want to do is press Control M. You can also go up to here and import height map. So then find wherever your WorldMachine height map is. So here's mine right here, and then boom, we got our mountains in, looking cool. You're gonna want to mess with a lot of these, so you're not done just yet. This you can have as whatever you want, but I stick with 1.2 but 1.12. It's got the most features. So first thing you're gonna want to do is bring the water level down a little bit. If you want really tall mountains, you're obviously gonna want to make that as low as possible. I mean, maybe even 0, depending on how you want your world. I'm gonna set it to 30 just so we can show what it looks like with the water in there. And I'm gonna go to theme. I'm gonna check beaches around water level because I don't really want beaches in a snow world. So and on the next step, we're gonna get rid of all this. Then you're gonna want to set this to whatever you want your like base rock to be. This is gonna be totally covered in snow around the base, so doesn't really matter to me what the ground's made of because it's gonna be snow anyways. So I'm going to set that to sign stain terracotta, which is what I like to make my mountains out of. Then I'm going to go to layers and delete frost, and then we're good to click OK. Alright, now we have our height map. Okay, so next thing we're going to want to do is go to edit preferences, go to defaults, change maximum brush size to half of however big your WorldMachine map was. So mine was 1024, so I'm making it 512. And then we're gonna go over to terrain, deep snow. We're gonna find out where our brushes are. Let's see. Here's mine right here. Then we're gonna want to find where our brushes are. I got mine right here. Click the pencil tool. Make sure on the pencil tool, pen tool, whatever this is called. Make sure that's checked, deep snow, and then do scroll wheel down until you have this whole brush maxed out. This might get a little laggy depending on how your computer is, but then you're gonna want to make this little red dot you see around here in the middle. You're gonna want to make it this red cross, right? That's a spawn point. You're gonna want to make it look like there's a little red dot. That's how we know it's completely centered over. And then you're going to want to left click. Actually, make sure the intensity is 100 on our brushes. And then we're going to want to get that circle. It can be a little tricky. And then left click. There we go. We have our snow. Now you'll see on the bottom, we have a lot of strange areas. So to quickly get rid of those, what you can do is just go stick with what brush you want. You could even like do the whole map at once and do something. First of all, let's check what like the height some of these rocks are. I could get up to 60, but we don't want to cover our mountains up, so be a little careful. So maybe don't max out your brush, but I'm gonna set this to only on terrain, sign stain terracotta, and at or below Y. Let's do 40 just to see what it looks like first. And you can see it's a little bit laggy, but we're covering up that terracotta we didn't want. Okay, so I went ahead and did that, and you see I stuck with 60 and I cleaned it up. You can you know, mess with it to your heart's content until you're satisfied with it. Just for the tutorial, I'm gonna leave it like this for now. Okay, now the next step, we're gonna want to make sure that we don't have the Minecraft snow falling on our terracotta up here and ruining the effect. So we're gonna do edit global operations, and first we're gonna cover the whole map with doesn't really matter, it's something snowy, so I'm gonna do snowy mountains, so we'll get nice snow all around. And then our whole map, oh, make sure show biomes is checked over here in biomes. They're gonna have all these little tiny mountains showing up in the map, but you'll see that there's snow over all of the terracotta, or there would be snow. So we're gonna want to go to edit global operations, fill with biome ocean, only on terrain, sign stain terracotta. Click OK, and there now we have some ocean biomes over here. So then uncheck that so we can go back to our normal look. So the next part isn't super important, but I like to do this because it adds a really nice effect. Go over to brushes, get like a nice smooth one. I like this one, and this smooth brush, this little slope line, and then do above. I usually stick with 30 degrees. Or sorry, below 30 degrees, and then except near the bottom of your mountains and also this terrain, I'm just going to I'll also do only on terrain deep snow, and then I just like to left click, and it smooths out these lines over here, and that's gonna give us some really nice smooth snow. If we don't do this, it can get really choppy, but the way we're gonna have it, we'll be able to walk up a lot of the mountains. So then just go around smoothing it out. I don't have my intensity at 100 right now, but if you put it, you can put it at 100. I'll actually do it just to show it. You'll notice it's doing a lot of stuff over here. If you have too much, it can sort of give you this fake effect, but we want it to look nice and realistic. So don't always stick with 100, but it can look nice. So I'll do 100 just to show what it looks like. And then to your heart's content, you can mess with it. There's a lot of trial and error with this. It took me a while to come up with this strategy to make the mountains, but now I found one that I'm really satisfied with. Okay, so once we've done that, then we want to go to edit global operations, fill with layer frost, only on terrain deep snow, and then click go. And now we have deep snow and also ice everywhere, and then click Control 3 and it opens up this nice 3D view. See, our mountains are starting to look really nice. Okay, so last thing I want to do is I want to fill in this parts of this mountain where it's cyan terracotta with gray concrete to give it a nice contrasting color. So I'm gonna go to terrain and create custom material, because gray concrete isn't a material in the game. At least that's my knowledge, it isn't. And just to show you how a comparison, I want to make this nice and green. Then go to all the way down to concrete 251. Data value 7 is the nice gray concrete. Oh, is it? There we go. It should say gray concrete right there, and then click OK. And then we're going to go to edit global operations, fill terrain type. Scroll down, find our gray concrete, and then I'm going to do above 55 degrees, but you can mess with it to find something you like. But there we go. I'm going to do that. You can see we have a lot of our map filled in, and there we go. Green's filled in. That's going to be gray concrete in game, but just to show you, there it is. And then now we're done. We can export it. So click File, Export. Export as new Minecraft map. And these aren't super important settings to mess with all of these, but I like to do them to how I like it. put myself in creative. Get rid of structures. Get rid of caves. Get rid of resources. Everything else is okay. And then whatever you want the underground material to be, I like to go with rock. It's a mix of stone and cobblestone. Looks really nice. And then the border, you should go with water and whatever my water level is. And then it's just going to be water outside of all of our world. And then we're good to go. If you want to mess around with certain parts of your map, you can do export select tiles and just select like certain parts you want. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to export everything. And then we're good to go. Click export, and then we'll head into Minecraft.
Alright, so now we're in Minecraft. You'll just go to single player, and you'll see your world here. It'll say version WorldPainter, but you just click on it. It'll be fine. Click I know what I'm doing. I'm in 1.16.1, and it runs fine. You don't have to worry about it. Worst case scenario, if your world corrupts, you still have the WorldPainter file and you just re-export. Just if you're changing something in WorldPainter and exporting again, make sure you change the name if you don't want to overwrite the old file, because I'm pretty sure WorldPainter just overwrites your file if you were to re-export with the same name. So make sure to do that. It can take a little bit to upload, but then once you're in, you can see your nice smooth snow with these beautiful mountains. Now, I mean, if you're in here and you don't like something you've done, that's when it can be helpful to save at different points and export and check on what you've done. Like, something weird is happening here, like, that could probably use some shit. You can also use, like, this, you could use the smooth tool or the height change tool in WorldPainter and, like, mess with weird stuff like this. In some areas it looks nice, but as you can see, in some areas we got this gray concrete, but most of the mountains cyan terracotta. Looks really nice. Alright, that's gonna be it for the video. Drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you learned something. If you didn't, tell me a comment. Tell me how horrible the video was. Sorry if it was cringy. This is my first video, but I'll be making more of these if people are interested. So tell me if you are. That's gonna be it. See you, folks.